All right.
All right.
We've got something special, I guess, today. We've got another podcast recording.
Yes. I'm so excited.
I know. I figured since the end is nigh, or at least the end of 2025, that we'd get a little recap of how the year went. And I got a special guest.
Hello, everyone. Sly here, or Gabriel. You'll probably see me in a couple of videos. I am one of the premier Derevi players that loves the game, loves CEDH. I'm really happy to be here and talk about it. As on our last podcast. Last podcast.
Yes, that last podcast was a while ago. It was over a year ago.
Yeah, that was right after the bannings. We jumped on it.
That was, I think, late August of 2024?
Yeah.
I had to double check because we had unbannings this year, but we didn't have any actual banning, so I double checked that Naughty didn't happen this year.
No, that was quite the shakeup, and the meta's changed a lot. And with all the new cards we got, I'm really excited to talk about how the year's kind of impacted us tournament wise, card wise. It's gonna be fun.
Definitely. Well, I guess we can start off with January. And I guess the biggest event that we should probably talk
Royal Rumble
is the Royal Rumble 8K that happened. And funnily enough, was actually my first actual CDH tournament that I've ever been to. And I can't say I got raffle stomped because I did manage to at least win a game there. But I picked Riel just because it was a comfort pick. And boy, did Bowmaster absolutely wreck me. One of the reasons why Riel has not really seen much of a comeback this year is seeing too much play.
Yeah, OBM is just the bane of a lot of green players' existence, a lot of creature deck existence. I had similar issues also at Rumble. I unfortunately, I bottomed out after round 5. I decided to just tap out. There's no way I was in. Games that I lost were either the Bowmasters or just like really early like turbo, just jamming in wins. But that's what happens when you play slow ban.
I mean, I don't think you need to add the context slow ban.
I know, right?
It's kind of slow.
It sucks. I like the event. The event was really nice. It was the first big event I went to, and it was close by, which I appreciated, and there was a lot of vendors, and honestly, for the first big event, I think that venue ran. It went pretty smoothly for the most part.
Honestly, it really did. We had very minimal delays, and granted, we didn't end up, or at least I didn't end up staying for the finals on the last day because I needed to pack up.
Yeah, and it was really, I appreciated the fact that they had like a little redemption event too. So like it's like, oh, you can still stay day 2, play some games, have some fun, check out the artists that were there, buy cards, just enjoy yourself, have a good time. That's what I like to have at tournaments, and especially when one's so big and it's like a 2-day thing. You want to have something to do on the second day if you planned it out.
And it did well enough that they're doing now a 15K, or is it a 20K?
I think it's a 12K. I think they're doing a 12K, Royal Rumble 2, January. Got to prep up for that. So that's what the rest of this month has been.
I guess moving into February, chronologically, we did the tournament bug kind of bit me, so I did a 1K, and we managed to top 4 this.
That was our top. Oh my god!
Interesting 1K where it was 16 total people.
Yeah, but they wanted to retain the prize pool, so it was a 1K where it was, instead of rounds of Swiss, it was just.
It was cut to top 16, single elimination.
Single elim immediately.
Yep,
and then we all just drew. But we went ahead and played the game for fun to see who gets the winner, like, name on the thing. And everyone just decided to kill me first.
Well, yes. However, we also realized that we totally lost to a Sisei that didn't have
the mana to go for it.
First Sisei activation, nothing on the board, but Sisei immediately grabs Chromatic Ori, and we just didn't.
It was so bad. We're just like, oh yeah, dude, you totally grab a Chromatic Ori.
Definitely.
That's totally what happens here.
That was an interesting tournament, but it got me a LED. So.
Yeah. The store credit, I immediately jumped on it, picked up a whole bunch of staples, and I think I still have them, which is nice. So it was a good time, even though it was like a weird small event, and people definitely didn't like the way it was handled.
But on actual big news, that was, I guess for the other big event was MTG Chicago. But you didn't manage to make it out there.
Did not.
It was very cold. Very cold. But that was Aetherdrift release as well.
Yes, it was. Aetherdrift. Some liked, some didn't like. it's mixed feelings.
I guess my question would be, do you agree with everyone ranking Aether as the worst set? Now that we've had a full year at, what was it, 2 months ago, the whole Discord was about everyone ranked the worst sets of all time, and Aether was really low on there.
Wow. Mm-hmm. I disagree, actually.
Really?
Genuinely, I disagree. I think Spider-Man was a worse set than Aether Drift. And I know we're going to talk about Spider-Man maybe in a little bit, but Aether Drift, to me, it's still A, within the Magicverse. B, I know they were trying to do something different. It also had some really, it had some impactful cards and interesting decks and some brews. I don't think the lands were cool and the mechanics were definitely shaky, but...
Yeah, when I first heard the idea of MTG Wacky Races, I was very much excited. I was hyped for this set. I even made custom racing jackets. I was excited for this set. They spoiled Chrome Mox, even though I didn't like it in piss yellow.
Yeah, it was...
I was perfect, we're getting cool reprints. And then the full set happened, and I got very confused on how this was a Wacky Races, and Loot was there, and Jace was there, and the set just kind of fell apart.
Yeah, I didn't quite get the lore implications, and I'm sure there's a lot of deep stuff that I haven't done my research on, but just ultimately, the only thing I cared about in that set was Bright Glass Ear Hulk. Oh, yeah.
So, in terms of... I guess we'll start... We'll save Bright Glass for the end of Aether. However, in terms of notable commanders, there were Hashiton, Ketramos, and Loot were the only ones that I think
really
had any kind of breakout. And Hashiton, do you think that was the biggest hype disappointment for a Commander of the Year? Because
I don't even know if I'd call it a disappointment. I think people like it. It's just not doing anything better than other Esper decks. You get to play more dead cards and have more fun playing big Esper creatures.
Yeah, but everyone was... at that point, everyone
so many people did play the deck, and
everyone thought this was the new it. It was gonna overthrow Blue Farm. It was...
Yeah, how are you supposed to respond to a split-second spell? You can't.
I don't know if
it didn't stick around.
It did not.
I haven't seen it since the peak of February. I think in my tournament experience, it hasn't really performed well. Once again, it's just not doing Esper any better than what Esper already does.
And then in terms of Ketramos, I've seen at least one Ketramos, but it's certainly fringe. And then Loot falls into the category of another teamer deck that doesn't have the ability to actually fetch out Food Chain, which is the number one killer for teamer right now. If it had a solid way of getting Food Chain reliably,
gosh.
Would
imagine Maelstrom Wander with the actual way to find Food Chain.
I want to play... I mean, I will talk about it in Tarkir, but I want to play Ureni Food Chain.
My gosh.
But I just want some way of actually tutoring it out, because almost every set, they give us some sort of teamer legend that are awesome. It just goes infinite with Food Chain, but you have no way of tutoring up any of the pieces. So
I hear you. For a long time, at the beginning of this year, I was really hungry for a Bant Food Chain commander as well. Mm-hmm. We did end up getting that. We'll talk about it later, because Chulane just wasn't doing it for me. And I love Food Chain as a card, but we're just, You
don't like spinning your wheels for...
No, I don't. I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I agree. I think those were probably the three decks I've seen the most of. I think Ketramos is really cool, and people like Loot, but once again, teamer deck not doing anything better than other teamer decks.
So since we've gotten off the commanders, let's see if there's any notable cards. So for me, it was Stock Up.
Yeah.
It was Bright Glass, and then I guess I was really scrounging Stride Hanger, Automaton.
Yeah,
those were the cards that I was trying to see had some sort of impact, see some sort of play. I mean, you're very much on the praises of Bright Glass, and you're also, I think, the only one that I've really ever seen play it.
It's the coming of Jesus for Derevi players. Actually,
I'll take your word for it. I mean,
I
agree.
Good.
It looks super cool. I just have not seen it played anywhere.
I've seen it played in some dog thrash lists, and I know Time players are also picking it up, even though it feels weird to hit off of a Time flip.
You mean you don't hit it off a Time?
Yeah. You mill the card, and you're well, that's stuck in my graveyard.
I don't know. I don't think Time has enough cards already. We'll get into Tarkir.
Oh my god, Tarkir was so
bunch of cards.
But Bright Glass, I mean, it finds so much. It's so useful.
It
does everything to everyone.
But we're in a format that you literally complained about how slow Bant is, and now you're playing 4-mana tutor spells.
Don't worry about it. Look, I birthing pod into it. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, sure. This card is so great when I'm already comboing off.
That's the combo card. I needed it.
Yeah, I think overall with the commanders that petered out and most of the cards that just didn't quite hit the mark, I think edhrec was my... I guess Spider-Man's still the worst set, but
I think Spider-Man's the worst set. It's my least favorite for sure.
But I was unfortunately very disappointed. But on that negativity train, we'll move on to April.
Yeah, there was like a pretty big lull between February and April.
Yeah, there definitely
March
was.
didn't have a lot going on.
But in April, we got Tarkir, which we've been talking about so much.
Tarkir.
Although, funnily enough, lots of playable cards, almost no playable commanders.
Yeah.
I saw Codis and then Ureni, and that's only because I played both of those, and I thought they were okay. Although, I think Ureni's actually halfway good. Because Goldspan Dragon is just so good.
It really is that card. I think out of Tarkir, yeah, I can't really name any notable commanders. People tried doing like Narset. Eshki. I actually saw an Eshki today at the local I just went to. There was yep. I've seen people play it for funsies, but I've also seen it in CDH. It kind of plays in the semi-blue realm of just like big dumb creatures that are really cheap and. Casting the big dumb creatures over and over will just drain the table if you need to.
You sure it wasn't Loots in Disguise playing Conquest?
I swear to you it wasn't. I swear to you it wasn't. No, yeah, I mean, other than that, though, I can't name anything off the top of my head from Tarkir that really just stuck out commander-wise.
Yeah, in terms of commander, it did not, but I gotta pull up the list because there were so many.
There was a Felithar. Felithar kind of played as like this weird Protean Hulk deck. It's like an Abzan Protean Hulk deck.
I saw that, but I was going to mention it more in, like, the good cards.
It's definitely a 99. It's a 99 card.
Because I don't think it didn't live up to being an actual commander. But in terms of actual cards, let's see. We got Mistrise Village, Stadium Headliner, Nature's Rhythm, Voice of Victory, Clarion Conqueror, Ward of the Grove, Felithar, Dracogenesis, even Will of the Mardu Jeskai.
Will of Jeskai, so good.
And then I put down Ugin, Eye of the Storm. I don't think it's really seen a whole lot of play, but...
I saw it also played today.
Really?
There was a Zoldog player, and I saw them cast Ugin and blow out the game.
But out of those cards, are there any ones that you want to focus in, Rise? Because for me, I think Voice of Victory is obviously the most impactful out of all those cards.
Yeah, it is.
We've seen time and time again in this recent format how well and how powerful silence effects are.
They're so necessary.
There's just so much more interaction, and even though it's not a grand abolisher, it's a grand abolisher.
It's pretty like the difference in early game becomes so minute. In late game, it's there's a pretty big difference. But yeah, I mean those creatures that it makes are super useful for Tymna decks, super useful for us Derevi players. The fact that they're red also, minor side piece is pretty awesome. I guess another card that wasn't named here that I personally found pretty interesting was Inox Strike Leader. The fact that it makes dudes just like Mobilize does for like the Tymna decks. They're useful to eat for Dargo decks.
I debated putting it on the list, but I just hadn't seen it actually be played.
It's a little more niche. Sure.
So instead I just put Stadium Headliner just because it sees play in Najeela. Granted, Najeela has fallen so far from her place, but we still have...
dedicated players.
Yeah, we still have a few dedicated players for Najeela, so it's still ever present.
I think the Clarion Conqueror has seen its use to play in stacks, and Nature's Rhythm's been a house.
I would say Nature's Rhythm is probably the second most impactful card.
Mistrise actually dropped off a lot. A lot of people were excited about it, but only a few decks actually ended up keeping it.
It's tough. 4-color soup and all those kind of piles it's hard. Even though it comes into play untapped a lot of the times, it doesn't always. You can't really fetch it out. It's just awkward enough where our land bases are so good.
It's one of those utility lands that you don't really need the slot, and you definitely don't need to slot it if you're in 4-color. The 3 and less color decks have been pretty happy with it.
Additionally, in April, we also had unbannings.
Oh my god, you're right.
I know why you forgot about them, because the unbannings were Gifts Ungiving, Braids, Coalition Victory, and Panatic Mirror. I mean, Granted, there were some other ones, but those ones weren't even in consideration. So,
Yeah.
how impactful have those bannings been?
I think gifts has been pretty impactful, actually.
Has it been? I haven't
agree.
seen a whole lot, because we already had intuition,
This is better intuition.
but it's 4 mana, and the format is speeding up.
It is speeding up. I mean, it's probably... I've seen it a lot over here on a lot of the... for context, I play in a lot of, like, East Coast events... And the East Coast meta has felt a lot more slower and mid-rangey. So seeing a Gifts Ungiven is a lot more common. I'm sure in like turbo games, it's like, who cares about a Gifts Ungiven? Like 4 mana is actually like the breaker there.
That was my thought as why I just haven't seen it a whole lot.
I see gift piles.
Really?
I really do. And I mean, I played one in Derevi. It's just, I don't know. I would be surprised if Blue Farm decks weren't playing it, to be honest with you.
I would have to look that up. I'm not sure on the latest list for that. It's just I just haven't really seen it cast whatsoever.
It probably isn't your first choice of to cast. You know, there's so many good cards in the soup.
I know, as I said, intuition just wins as well, and it's cheaper. So gifts is a little harder, especially if you're on Adnaz.
I guess that's fair. The Adnaz consideration is a pretty big deal.
Other than that, the only one
I'll defend Gifts Ungiven. None of the rest. It's.
You're not winning in coalition victories?
No. I'm actually running braids. Oh yeah.
What are you running braids in?
I'll run it in Dargo for the sack triggers. I'll run it in Timna Dargo, baby.
As like a 5th option? Because 3 mana braids is just so much better than 4 mana braids.
I'm dropping the bit. I'm not running braids.
Okay. Hey, I literally went through your deck looking for a 2 mana clone in Bant, and you didn't have any, so...
Yes, I just got rid of it out of the deck the moment you looked for it, so... My bad. I'll put it in next time just for you.
So yeah, the bannings were unfortunately not super impactful, so I guess that moves us up to May, and we had SCG Hartford.
Oh, SCG Hartford was actually a surprisingly good time. I think that was probably my best tournament placing this year.
Is it? What did you end up placing for that one?
I believe I placed 12th out of the 160-ish people. I got a game to play with Comedian, so that was cool.
Isn't that the one that you got like a turn and a half from a Raoul or something like that?
No, that was my that was the top 16 game that I lost. No, the Comedian game, we were gonna try and draw on like round 4 there. We're just gonna insta draw. The Rock Thras player didn't believe in insta drawing and wanted to play out the game. And we just had to play a little arch enemy because, I mean, he jammed out a Seedborn and a One Ring. Like, it was just a mess.
I mean, I guess with the ability to do that, I don't know about insta-drawing.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, we were all undefeated at that point, and so it was like we could have just taken the free point and I had to go eat and stuff. But it was a good time. The one thing that I didn't like about SCG Hartford and a lot of the SCG events is that it is proxy unfriendly.
That is the one downside of it being an official kind of Wizards event.
I get why they do it.
It definitely leads to an interesting tournament structure when everyone has to own 100% of their cards.
You get to see some weird decks. People play some weird stuff sometimes. Yeah, I saw like a Bello and a Gyruda in my game 1.
Gyruda?
Yeah. There were some weird decks, but I mean, like, it was fun to play against them because, you know, sometimes you need kind of the shake-up. And it was also here, and you know.
Yeah, it's nice when everything is like 20 minutes away, and I don't have to pay for a hotel room.
Yes, oh my gosh.
Especially since I had to load in my entire setup day in and day out.
Yeah, it makes travel a little more inconvenient.
Yeah. So moving on to June. Shout out, I updated the merch store. That's what I did in June.
Oh yeah, check it out.
Yeah, so I worked with Spectacles in Blue to get some awesome photos for the website for the latest merch and stuff like that. So I was really happy about that. And then it was MTG Vegas, another event, unfortunately, you weren't able to make it out for.
Can't travel out of the region, especially during June. It's just tough.
I unfortunately don't have much to say about that, but other than it was very hot. But I did get to meet some really cool people. I got to meet Freedom Waffle. I got to meet JJ or Rage Mage MTG. I got to meet a bunch of different cool creators. And it was Final Fantasy... was it pre-release? Or it was Final Fantasy weekend for...
That was June, you're right.
That was, I know. I'll admit it, I'm not a very big Final Fantasy nerd. I've played Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, and that's the extent of my knowledge.
Same here. I played Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and... That's about it.
So I was, when I originally saw Final Fantasy being announced, I was definitely kind of bummed because I did not think it was going to be nearly as impactful as what we ended up getting.
Oh boy.
Oh
Were we
boy.
wrong?
Were we definitely wrong? So in terms of actual cards, Final Fantasy was great for the game itself. I don't know if it had the biggest impact on CDH. I'll say that. In terms of actual cards, I think the only ones that I saw were like Luisar's Sacrifice and Taru Taru.
Yeah, Taru Taru's been in the 99 of a lot of decks recently.
But I don't remember like playing any other cards from there.
The only other one I've seen relatively consistency is Black Mage's Rod.
Have you been seeing a lot of play for that?
Yeah, so like pirate decks like it because you put it on Malcolm and it starts making the treasures. I had a game today where it just like drained. I mean, it was played in the Noctis decks, which we'll talk about in a sec. What else? Black Mage's Rod.
I know it was. I know Obnixilis and stuff like that.
Yeah.
No one plays
as well.
Obnixilis, which is.
Hey man, I played against an Obnix last month at a charity event. They're kicking, man. Rakdos players are dedicated, to say the least.
Yeah, because they're so bad.
The decks are not that crazy anymore.
I've played every Rakdos, like, semi-viable commander that's come out this year.
Out this year, that's why.
I used to main Obnixilis as, like, one of my, I said top 5 because I swap in so many different decks. I love this deck. It just felt so bad once we lost Mana Crypt and Jeweled Lotus. It just... Not being able to power out your commander nearly as easy just really hurt the deck.
Play some Dargo Tormod, man. Just play some Dargo Tormod. It'll be fine, I swear.
But then in terms of actual commanders, though, I definitely say that there was a lot more.
So much.
So please explain to me the Wandering Minstrel. I've heard people hype this card up. I have not seen it
down.
Absolutely once.
The hype died down, for sure. It's very easy to have a very compact pile of cards. You get to dig really deep with the deck, and it's a cheap commander.
I'll take your word for it. This was a card that Comedian was hyping up, and I didn't see anyone actually play it. So you were on Lumra, but you never made the move to the Minstrel. So
I did play Minstrel for a little bit. I just didn't think I was able to get a game on camera with Minstrel. I had it up for I think like 2 months, and then I have a thing against 5-color soup. I think it takes too many cards away from all my other decks that I play, so I took it apart.
Well, moving on from that, I guess another big one was Vivi.
Yeah, that's the elephant in the room, right?
So that was it. It very much just felt like we were back in Aether Drift, and this was the next coming of Hashaton, where it was hyped up to the moon, and then it just...
This one stuck a little better, I will say.
Has it?
I think it stuck a little better. Than Hashaton, at least.
I guess it better than Hashaton, but this was one... It was
People like drawing
up.
cards.
People do. As I said, as a real player, I love drawing cards. You know what I don't love? Orcish Bowmaster.
Vivi doesn't die to Orcish Bowmasters. That's my argument. That's all I got for you.
Yeah, if you're only drawing 3 a turn, but if you're storming off, you can't storm off through a Bowmaster.
You can certainly try.
You can certainly try.
It's alright, you'll find your deflecting swat eventually.
I mean, Vivi is great against, I'm not going to say lower power commanders, but like, in less interaction and Vivi just jams, Vivi is great. But it just doesn't have, it's playing so many cards to try and combo off. At least in the builds that I saw, I just did not like.
I know a lot of Vivi players, a lot of stands at least, have kind of detracted from the Turbo Vivi playstyle and have moved into like a mid-range space where Vivi's there both partially as like the value engine to be ready to go ahead and Curiosity off, but like also just kind of play like in the middle of the game, not scare people to death, like trying to go off and feed everyone cards.
Gotcha.
I've seen a little more success in that space for the deck.
I'm just killing it on site.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. I'm cloning it on site.
Yes. That was actually a card that I thought was going to see more play in Rogsai.
I've seen it in 99s, not in Rogsai. I think a lot of Rogsai players tried it.
Gotcha. I played against it, I think, at Command... Yeah, it was Command Fest Worcester.
Yeah.
I saw it with a Rogsai, and it looked phenomenal.
It's cool.
It blocked.
Yeah, it's
and as an Adnos deck,
oh
being
my God,
able
have a
to
blocker.
have a great blocker, phenomenal.
It's pretty useful. It's been cemented, I think, now in like Pirate 99s, Kark 99s. It's still, some people will play it as a Mander. Every once in a blue moon, I also see it in the 99 of like some teamer piles.
Gotcha.
Every once in a blue moon.
Next one for that would be probably Terra, I would say, is the next. Which would you say, Terra or Kefka would be the next?
Kefka. I see way more Kefka
You say
than
way
Terra.
more Kefka? Okay.
I've seen personally Kefka more than Terra. I think people find it more fun.
I mean, I definitely agree. Although I need to rebuild my Kefka. I have it very mid-rangey, and it just doesn't feel great as a mid-range deck. And I made it more mid-rangey because that's just the type of player I am. But I agree. I was watching a few people talk about the deck, and going turbo is just the better strategy right now.
Grixis is built for it, man. No matter what you do, you can have. I mean, I play Marchese as my de facto Grixis commander, and at the end of the day, like, I'm still doing Grixis pile things pretty quickly. Doesn't matter who your pilot is, so you can do it with Kefka just fine.
And then Terra is just another 5-color Adnos variant.
Yeah, this one just finds you Underworld Breach as its, like, unique part of the soup.
Yeah, I've
never cared for it. I see it every once in a blue moon.
Well, I've got terrible Adnos luck, so whenever I cast an Adnos, I generally die.
Yeah, I'm also a bad Nos kind of.
I'm just not that kind of gamer. Then we've got Noctis and Y'shtola. Those were more Esper kind of value
decks. Yeah. Y'shtola, I mean, I know a guy in our local that consistently plays Y'shtola. He loves the deck. He likes the attrition style play that it provides. But it definitely didn't stick around. And neither did Noctis. I think Noctis also fell off.
It very much did. It had a very interesting concept. It is very much like on that Hashaton where it's doing something interesting that the other decks weren't necessarily doing. It was in a close enough vein, but it still felt cool to try out.
I think it plays like less dead cards than Hashaton, but still more dead cards than Esper wants to play.
Well, a lot of the issues was he was playing kind of like or at least the decks that I saw were playing kind of more of a staxier version because they were playing a lot of the ways of actually countering their own stuff.
Yes, like Chalice and stuff.
They were playing Chalice and all that. So it was just one of those things where I think just by trying to be a stacks deck, it's just hard in this current meta game to really
it is.
Be like, all right, guys, I'm gonna do really well if I can get this game to go to turn 7. Like
what a ridiculous statement.
What a game plan kind of thing.
Got it. Please get me to turn 7. I promise you it'll be fine.
And then other than that, the only other commander was, I guess, Sephiroth. Had a really cool showing.
I like the idea of it.
And
at the end of the day, it's a monocolor deck.
That's unfortunately exactly right.
Didn't make any 99 appearances either. Unfortunate. Because, I mean, it looks like such a good card on paper.
Yep. Well, but that would be it then for Final Fantasy. I very much enjoyed everyone's love of Final Fantasy, not being a Final Fantasy lover myself. So definitely a lot of cool cards, and definitely for the more casual things, this had a major impact.
Oh, yeah.
But then moving on, our next big thing was Command Fest Worcester.
I was able to go to Worcester.
You were able to go to Worcester.
Oh my god, it's in region. We did it. Worcester was a great time. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, definitely. And with that, I definitely want to give some shout-outs to Wild from Sleeves and Dweebs, CJ, Harmless Offering, Chris. Like, this event was really cool because it felt like a mini Magic Con just with the amount of content creators that were there.
Yes.
And got to hang out. We got to jam a bunch of games. We got to play their... What was it? Their Wild Sevens.
Oh yeah, the Lucky Sevens.
Their Lucky Sevens, which is
we totally weren't rigging that.
We totally weren't rigging that one. We got to open up 2 collector's boosters for Final Fantasy and completely whiffed on any cards of value.
That was pretty bad.
But the event was fun.
No, the event was a wonderful time.
Mine is getting my stuff to the event. Because the parking was just far enough where...
It felt slightly inconvenient to lug around all the camera stuff.
It was heavy, and It was July, so it was warm.
It was toasty, a little toasty.
Mm-hmm.
I know they had an event going on. I didn't actually attend the event. It was weirdly small. It was like a 2.5K.
I'm pretty sure there was an issue with signups and stuff like that, with people trying to get into the tournament, slots getting filled and not getting filled. Like, I heard there's some back-end issues for that, which is one of the reasons why it was smaller than it was.
Yeah, but honestly, I was glad I was able to get some recorded games with you.
Yep. I surprisingly saw a lot of Italian that weekend.
People of Control?
It was a deck that I loved playing last year, and it just...
I hate it. I hate seeing it at my tables, because I know I'm going to get curse totemed every game.
Hell yeah.
No, stop. And there wasn't a lot of Kinnan as well. I didn't see a lot of Kinnan.
Those were the two oddities for that. Other than that, it was really a cool event, and we got to meet a lot of people, chat with a lot of cool people. The next event, which you only managed to get to Sunday, was Kineticon, and just another cool merch shout out. I had my own booth. So it was really cool meeting a bunch of different people. Kineticon is not the largest gaming part of that.
No.
They have, I would say, a few pods filled with Commander and stuff like that. But overall, it was just cool getting to meet a bunch of different people and having my first booth.
That was awesome. I didn't know that you were actually going to Kineticon. I was showing up to Kineticon on Sunday for completely unrelated reasons. And I'm like walking by. And I just like look over and I see you.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, no way. And then we're just sitting there totally glazing each other up.
And I managed to not lose money on my booth. So that was...
Oh, that's good.
That was the number one. Next up, which is another event that you didn't manage to make it to, was Gen Con.
I did not.
Gen Con, I think, is an event you probably would have liked. They had an entire football stadium just to play Magic the Gathering.
What the heck, dude?
It was... I mean, granted, Gen Con is massive. Absolutely massive. And it was just a really cool event. I got to meet up with Moldhound. I saw Ben Bateman. I got a foil signed artist-proof Bloodstained Mire.
Oh, that's
at
hot.
the event. Because I also found out
nice.
that the person that did, what was it, for Modern Masters is the last printing of it? Whoever did the latest Bloodstained Mire.
Oh, yeah, MH3.
Was a Slay the Spire artist. And I love Slay the Spire.
I love Slay the Spire.
And I saw, because he had a bunch of playmats for Slay the Spire, and I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And then he had a binder of Magic cards, and I'm like, wait, you do both of these? So, of course, I had to pick something.
Wizards, hear me out. Universes Beyond, Slay the Spire, when?
I am very much surprised they have it. Like a
little shout out, like a secret lair.
That, I think, would sell.
Like the Watcher, the Ironclad. Oh, my God.
Like, Commander is the most popular format, and each one of those is literally just a Commander deck. It's literally just a Commander deck.
Wouldn't be hard to build mechanics around either.
But into Gen Con was Edge of Eternities. So I don't think you were that hyped for Edge of Eternities.
I was not. I'm not a sci-fi guy.
Sci-fi kind of guy.
I'm not a sci-fi guy. I've turned the loose stone. I think Edge of Eternities is a good set. I like it a lot. There's no cards in it. I think I play. But I think it was really well received.
I liked Edge of Eternities. I do admit it does feel on like the very edge of what a Magic set should be, and like feels like a Magic set kind of thing. But it was just enough that I'm like, this is still Magic. I didn't mind for like Neon Kamigawa that there was more future, a little bit more robotics and stuff like that. That didn't bother me whatsoever.
I think that's too far for me. It's my line.
But you're definitely playing Tezzeret.
Yes, I will play Tezzeret, not in Derevi, but I have it in a whole bunch of the other decks. That is, I think, the one card I'm like, it stuck with me.
I think that was the most popular. I would say that was probably the most popular of the cards from that. Because we had, at least the notable cards were Uthros, Gene Pollinator, Frenzied Baloth, Tezzeret, and then Ice-Till Explorers.
Ice-Till's been pretty useful for the Loomer players, and it was good for Minstrel. Also Gitrog. Gitrog players.
Gitrog is loving it. Are you going to say that's probably the most impactful? Because I still think Tezzeret is a house.
Tezzeret is a house, but I see it in way less games. I think a lot of people were testing it. Like Rogthras decks were testing it. Dogthras decks were testing it. Because it looks for Candelabra, which is like the thing that those decks really want to put out. But at the end of the day, I think they just care way more about like spinning wheels, and while the card does spin wheels,
But like it's perfect. You play it, you get a mana vault, you cast the mana vault, it untaps the mana. Like
I'm surprised I haven't seen it more. I agree. I think it's an amazing card, but I just haven't seen it in the tournament play nearly as much.
Gotcha. That was a card that every time I've played it, it's been super impactful, and I'm just that's why I said that's got to be the number one card from this set.
I mean, I think it still is.
Yeah, because unfortunately there weren't really any commanders from this set. I had Tanuk Steadfast Second as like the best commander from this set, and even then, that's a big stretch.
Yeah, there weren't any commanders that really stuck out. Like, I know people were trying to do stuff with Kilo, like the command deck, like Jeskai proliferate thing.
Yeah.
I know, yeah. I'm not sold on it either.
This was I'm pretty sure I tried to get a gameplay of every new set until this set because I just could not find commanders.
I really couldn't find
that I really wanted to build apart for this. But as I said, I really liked seeing Tezzeret. Have you seen a lot of Frenzy Bailoff? Because that was another card that I was really high on at the start.
I haven't seen it. I've theorized what it's good for, and I feel like I know what it's good for, but those decks aren't good right now. Elevir would love Frenzy Bailoff. Semi-Blue loves Bailoff. They're trying to beat people to death. They care about their stuff not getting interacted with. They don't really interact with people. This is an amazing card because usually the One Ring is the thing people find to go ahead and stop themselves from getting beat to death. So this card's really good against that. But ultimately, those decks are not very good right now. Stax is not in a good spot.
I know. Elevir, I really want to see a comeback to because she beats face so
it's
effectively.
Like insane how effective that deck can be.
I think people are... We keep saying that Stax is bad. Stax is not awful. But I think
depends on your meta.
I think people are too afraid to bring it into a tournament unless they're already a dedicated Stax player.
Yeah, like I'll bring it in if I wasn't such a Drevi stan. I'll gladly play Time.
Yes. So then after Edge of Eternities, that was the next big event was the Top Deck Invitational / the Steel City Open was the name of it.
Yes.
And both of those events, minus the issue of the Top Deck Invitational having I'll say an interesting extra player added, which unfortunately screwed things up. But that was a fun event. I managed to be on the broadcast team for that, so that was a really cool event. Minus the 4 Blue Farm top 4.
Oh my god, that sounds brutal.
Yes, although it's to be expected. This was an event for an entire year, so players were playing it safe. They were playing what they expected to be the best deck.
Yeah.
And that was that. Although, funnily enough, the card that I really thought was super impactful was Mayhem Devil.
Yeah, that card's a house.
That was a card that's used to be super impactful and has really kind of fallen off, but at the Invitational, it was a house. Every time it came out, it was probably the most impactful card, minus maybe Rhystic Study. That card was a house. And then for the actual Open, that was, 500 players? The largest tournament that we ever had.
I was playing with them earlier.
Yeah, we have the Atali.
He's a local for this area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rob, he just be putting out Chunky and seeing what happens. And I mean, it's kind of hard to beat Chunky when it's going first when there's no blue decks at the top 4 table.
Well, that's one of the strengths of Chunky, because Chunky doesn't mind if it goes first or goes fourth.
At the end of the day,
it just does Chunky.
It's just jamming Chunky.
Although I laugh, because the person that I see jam Chunky the most is Alan from Mental Misstep. And he probably has the worst Chunky luck I think I've ever seen.
Probably hits like 4 mana dorks, calls it a day.
Basically, he hits like 4 counterspells basically every time and like a mana dork. So
some people got crazy Chunky luck. Yeah, Rob's got the here's an Adnaz, here's a Ranger Captain. Okay, guys, we did it.
Yeah, it's plus Displacer Cat. Those are the 3 cards.
Yeah. It's like, all right, cool.
But those were really cool events, and it's one of those things that really shows how much the format has come.
Yes.
I don't think I ever would have thought we had a 500-player event.
That's huge. That's like big for the CDH world. I thought the 8K was like
phenomenal.
The start of like something really beautiful, and here we are. End of the year, we're getting people doing consistent 5K pluses month.
It shows how many people are actually playing CDH and how willing people are to actually put money on the line for this stuff.
Wizards, please recognize us more.
I don't know if I don't. It's one of those things where I love that, but I think proxy is the way to go.
That's so
and
true.
if every tournament now had to be unproxy friendly,
Oh my God, it would suck.
That would suck.
No
so
cradle deck
badly.
would be allowed to exist.
Other than Comedian and its million time twisters.
Oh yeah, true.
Then on to September, the next big event that I had was Commander Sealed. So that was more of a casual event. I had another booth. I got to meet a bunch of cool artists there, sell my stuff. I was hanging out with Alan, as I said, from Mental Misplay, and Paul, or is it Punk, online.
Okay.
So they were really awesome guys, or awesome people to hang out with. And I got to make some really cool Trevor Project shirts. For Blue Collar Commander. So that was one of the things that I was really happy to help out for the community and stuff like that.
Nice. Sounds like a good event. I was not able to make that. It's a lot of events I got to miss this year, unfortunately.
Yeah, and unfortunately, my car was filled to the brim. I wouldn't even have the space to take you.
It's all right.
I literally
I'm taking it slightly personally.
As I said, I loaded up my car, and not a tiny little car. I had a Forester fully loaded out, including even the passenger side seat, with all my different shirts and stuff like that. So I was jam packed. I was solo operating for that.
I would have slept on the shirts.
But other than that, and speaking of merch, I had a really cool Blue White Miracles jacket that I made.
Oh yeah.
I'll throw some images in the doobly doo and up front and whatnot.
Editor. Someone post an image.
Mm-hmm. But that leads up to MTG Georgia and the Spider-Man set. So I guess MTG Georgia was another event you, unfortunately...
No.
I'm so sad I will get you for a next event.
That's okay. To be fair, this time around, it was in the middle of my school semester, so it wouldn't have worked nearly as well as anything else, because September's like the time school ramps up.
But I managed to get my first creator badge, so I was ecstatic. That was definitely the highlight. I got to hang out. I had some great Korean barbecue with Moldtown, with Z, 3-3 Elk, a bunch of different cool people. The Learn to Play events are always such a blast. I haven't really mentioned that, but they're held almost every Magic Con. So if you ever go to one, you don't have a deck, you want to learn a new deck, or you want to get in CDH in general, come find us. I have a big banner that says free CDH deck, so I'm very hard to miss.
And I will also have like 8 decks on me at all times.
And because we're such an awesome proxy friendly format, I can hand stuff out to people and not worry whatsoever.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. That's something I really appreciate about the CDH community. Is just there's no elitism like, oh, you don't have this version of the card.
We're not trying to battle wallets. We are trying to battle powerful cards.
What people will appreciate when you buy like 7th edition foil wild growths.
Funnily enough, that was the last foil that I picked up was a wild growth.
That's so crazy. I'm in your head.
At Georgia, they announced a bunch of different stuff, including like the Office Secret Lair, Iron Maiden Secret Lair, a bunch of different Universes Beyond kind of stuff. And I think that's where I was always on the fringe about Universes Beyond.
Yeah,
and that's kind of the tipping point for me, and it certainly didn't help that was also Spider-Man weekend as well.
God.
So that's
kind of brutal. Yeah.
Everything kind of fell off, unfortunately. And I'm not going to say I hate all the Universes Beyond. I just think it's tough.
To me, it's a departure too far away from Magic, and they start to do things to make it fit the Universe Beyond as opposed to the Universe Beyond fitting Magic, and I don't like that.
I understand that it's obviously good for the game. It brings in a lot of new players. And one of the things that I constantly have to learn is how into Magic we are.
Yes.
Compared to the normal Magic player.
It's very true.
I had a video pop off recently on TikTok, and you don't know how many people commented. It was a Keurig. He won first turn, and he won with Praetor's Grass. Do you know how many comments of people being so confused why he played a Breach after Praetor's Grass? And even though it says he breached for Praetor's Grass and then cast Underworld Breach, and so many people are confused about how the mono black deck cast an Underworld Breach. That's not supposed to be in his color identity. So we are so in the stratosphere for Magic the Gathering.
That's true.
That I think we very much kind of overlook.
You forget where like the common ground is.
Mm-hmm. And I think that overall, Universes Beyond is a big positive for Magic in general.
Yeah, I know.
It just doesn't feel like our Magic.
It doesn't feel like my Magic for sure. But I will say I've met at least like 20 plus people this year that said I got into Magic after Final Fantasy. Got more into Magic because of Avatar, so on and so forth.
Even some people were big Spider-Man fans.
Yeah, actually, I know a few that were like, "Oh yeah, Spider-Man! I'm so excited."
There aren't many of them. The set totally tanked. Although it also.
Well, you wouldn't know that if you're getting into it from Spider-Man.
True. Also, I think it was one of the best-selling sets of the year, simply because all the finance bros. Because Final Fantasy made so much money.
Oh, true.
All the Final Fantasy bros decided to invest in Spider-Man, and then it tanked. And they lost so much money.
It got so washed.
So that was the biggest positive that Spider-Man had on our
yeah, it totally stopped people from milking us of our money.
Because I don't know how well you follow Pokemon or like the One Piece TCG or anything like that.
I know there's scalpers.
Scalpers galore, and people speculate. I mean, there's always been speculation in Magic the Gathering and stuff like that, and people hoarding different cards to try and raise up prices. But the amount of money that Pokemon scalpers have is out of this world. And so many of them lost all their money due to Spider-Man. So they decided, fuck it, we are not going to be in Magic anymore. And that's probably the best thing that could ever happen. Because we don't need...
I'm so sick of scalpers. They're still roaming the secret lair world, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. But we don't need a world where there are fistfights happening in Target over a collector booster.
No, come on.
That's the one good thing about Spider-Man. In terms of actual cards, we'll start off with the actual... we'll start with the commanders. So, in terms of the actual commanders, there were probably one good one okay one, and then one that technically fit the thing. So, Electro was a card that people were... We have a big mono-red scene, or big mono-red love in our kind of player group.
Oh, yes, that's true.
So I don't think Electro is a good commander. I think he's a really cool commander.
It's just Bergie again. It's like worse Bergie, actually.
Yes.
Worse Ashling.
But then we're going into Gwenum. And I played Gwenum, and...
I played against one today.
I thought Gwenum was actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of surprised at how solid it performs despite it being like a mono deck that's kind of like very glass cannon.
It very much is. You think that like a 5-mana mono black commander that needs to attack, you'd be like, how good is it? And then almost every time, if you get to attack, you win the game.
Yeah, like, people overestimate how much time they have to interact with the card, because they're just like, it's a 5-mana card that also needs a turn after to attack. And then they play LED and Dark Rit, and now your Gwenum's out on turn 2.
Your card quality is so garbage that you don't mind discarding it.
Yeah, it's like, whatever, dude, I'll Gwenum turn 1, and I'll attack with it turn 2.
Mm-hmm.
Who cares? You didn't keep an interaction. And
because this format is speeding up, people are running a lot less interaction. Gwenum sneaks through. Force of Will is like the only check that a lot of people have for free spells to stop it. I don't know if it's better than Keurig. I originally said yes, it's really better than Keurig because I haven't played against a lot of Keurig, and then I got turn 1 by a Keurig the other day, and then like
you got humbled real quick.
Maybe Keurig is a little bit better. I'm definitely happy to see another mono black commander at least at the same level as Keurig.
Yeah, I think it has just slightly better legs than Sephiroth, which just seems crazy because on paper it seems like Sephiroth should be better, but...
And now we'll talk about the actual CDH commander, which is the Green Goblin.
Green Goblin! Oh my god, what a cool deck. I like it a lot. It's like another Grixis pile that I really enjoy.
So, I guess the big question is, we have a bunch of different Grixis piles and stuff like that. This feels like Rogsai at home.
I've heard that.
Do you agree with that? Like... Do you think that the extra little bit of utility that you lose a bit of speed, you get a little bit more utility, is that like the right balance, or should you just be pushing for like Rogsai?
I think deck has the ability to push just like Rog's Eye, better than Kefka does. But on the other end of the spectrum, like, to do the thing that the deck's really good at, you have to spend mana into flipping them into Green Goblin, and that takes up more time than just trying to jam. So it kind of plays in the space really between the mid-range and the Rogsai. Like, I just go for it and see what happens.
Yeah, it very much feels like Rogsai, Green Goblin, Kafka. Like, those are
those are the 3 tiers of, like, the fast Grixis.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that, and I like that the deck, like, you can play the unique cute cards like Ghostly Pilferer and the Frog.
Psychic Frog?
Yeah, Psychic Frog.
That was
Too
a
many
card.
frogs.
That was a card that people. I heard a lot of people being like, "This card's amazing," and I'm like, "Is it?"
It was wonderful in Hashton.
Yes, like as like a commander specific card, but I saw people playing it in a bunch of different decks, and they were like, "Yeah, it draws you cards." I'm like,
What's cool about Green Goblin as opposed to, like, well, I mean, Rockside does it too, is like the deck also super benefits hard from just like wheel storming.
mm-hmm.
That Will of the Jeskai we talked about earlier feels like a house in that deck. It's amazing. But yeah, like, you know, the deck plays a little more cutesy cards like Frantic Search, but I don't know. I like the idea that you get to play some pet cards in the deck.
I agree. As I said, I'm more of a mid-range player, so Green
I
Goblin
am as
feels
well.
a little bit more. Then in terms of, so we had one standout commander. In terms of the actual cards, the ones that I picked out were Peter Parker's Camera, which had like some cute interactions with like Magda, with like Brago and stuff like that. I haven't had a chance to actually see anyone like actually pull it off if they're not just like already winning and they don't need the camera to begin with. I don't know if you've seen it in any of your games.
No, I like the camera a lot. Like, theoretically speaking, it seems cool. I play with a local Oswald player, and he was pretty happy to see a camera, but it's just, I don't know.
Other than that, probably the big divisive. Well, there's a Soulstone. I just kind of threw that in there because it's like $30,000 and stuff like that, and there was the whole discourse. But the other big one that there was a lot of talk about was Spider-Punk.
It's weird.
I think so. I was kind of up on the card, being like, in the decks they just want to jam defense grid. It's almost like a second like defense grid at home, and for those low color kind of variants, like I thought it was interesting. I definitely understand that there's a big drawback to...
You gotta know when to play cards like Defense Grid or Teferi.
That was my thought, is the same thing, where it's just like another defense grid. But I haven't seen anyone actually play it, though.
I haven't seen it in any of my games. Even with like Magda's like roaming around here, like I don't really see Spider-Punk in Magda lists. And I think people are just too afraid of not allowing someone who has interaction to interact with someone who's doing something non-interactive.
That, and the issue is that Magda still dies to removal spells and stuff like that, and Spider-Punk doesn't stop that, so I understand
not really
that.
helping that deck, yeah.
That was probably it for...
Web slinging is also the spider sense. I see spider sense every once in a blue moon.
Do you? I didn't even put that card on there because I didn't see it at
It's not
all.
It's not awful. It's like it's a, you know, the fact that it is a counterspell, but also sometimes a stifle. It's useful for like the Rog Thrasios. You know, if their Rog is also the Birds of Paradise in some way, shape, or form, like you're stopping a Beseiju.
Gotcha.
And that's good enough.
Okay.
Beseiju on the cradle is pretty impactful against them.
That is true. We'll move on. October, I didn't really have anything going on in terms of the Magic world because I got married.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, actually, I was there.
Yeah,
the wedding was absolutely wonderful. What a wonderful time.
The only thing I was sad about is I completely forgot to actually record like any pack pulls or anything like that. I'm like, oh, that would have been so great.
Packs.
CJ was at a friend's wedding that same weekend, and he was ripping packs left and right, and I'm like, darn, I should have done that.
I should have brought some. If I had known.
I did manage to one of my wedding gifts was a doubling season, so that was kind of funny.
I got to see you dance.
Yeah, I was tearing up the dance floor.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
I was tearing it up, not...
Yeah, your brother was throwing me around on the dance floor too, so...
That was a blast. Moving on to November, I managed to go down to PAX Unplugged.
How was that?
It was another cool thing. So, I'd been to Gen Con earlier. It's another not Magic convention kind of thing. However, for this one, because it focused more on actually playing games and stuff like that, it was really cool. They had a bunch of different magic. They had the Cabbage Man actually was there. We got to take really fun photos with him.
Freaking sick.
They were doing a it was a kind of like a pack wars almost situation.
Okay.
So I don't know what they actually were calling it, but basically they were giving you a booster of Avatar, and then 2 of each basic land, best of 1 against someone else doing the exact same thing. And then it was a tournament best of 1. I ended up scrubbing out because my rare was Suki, and I got demolished by someone that had both the Flash O-Ring, and then he just had like a 5/5.
Oh,
I just couldn't beat it.
Good luck.
On my pack, like maxed out at like a 3-drop. So he put down a 5-drop, and I'm just like, yeah, nope, I lost. I'm sorry. I got to hang out with CJ again. I got to T-Beard, Robbie Redbeard. I got to meet up with Grant from Goblin Grounds. So like,
Nice.
They are a house. Misha Migo MTG is a really cool cosplayer. You might have seen. She does the Fibble Theft.
Oh yeah. I saw that on Instagram the other day actually.
So like it was another cool event where there was a bunch of different content creators. It wasn't as large as like a Magic convention, but we just got to hang out. We got to play a lot of games.
It's nice to like make those connections.
Mm-hmm. It was funny. Literally Saturday night, we were playing Magic at a bar, and we were sitting across from Critical Role. Like, Matt Mercer was literally right over there as we're playing Magic the Gathering.
That's so awesome.
So,
Did you go and say hi?
I did after the fact. When we got kicked out at like 2 a.m. I wanted to leave the bar. I got a photo then. Additionally, for non-Magic news, I got to play Riftbound.
How was that?
A really cool game. I used to play League of Legends like Season 4. So, like, way back. Deathfire, I don't know if you play League at all.
I know nothing about League of Legends. I watched Arcane. And I like Fiddlesticks.
So for the League players, I stopped playing. Deathfire Grass was still an actual item. I used to main Pentakill Yorick. So like I was super hyped to actually see. I also loved Arcane. So I got to do a play test with it, and it was super interesting. I wouldn't say it's a Magic killer, but it's a really cool kind of secondary game. So there's also multiplayer. CJ has a few decks, and I might pick up a few on my own.
I would definitely take a look at it because I like League of Legends characters a lot. I just know I'll never in my life play League. It's just not happening. But the designs on characters look cool.
I will say the cards themselves and the art that they've done is phenomenal. Also, I found out that the winners cards for like their tournaments are all metal. The winner card is an all metal. Sick. I think it's an Ari is the one at this time that they were giving out. So like they're doing really cool things for the TCG space, and I'm excited to see where that goes in the future. Oh, I also got to do some late night Vintage Cube.
Oh, man, I'm so jealous. I love Vintage Cube. It's like the only other high power Magic I play consistently.
So Gen Con was a blast. And then I guess we should also probably talk about Avatar, because that was Avatar weekend as well.
Another W set for the year.
So I guess for me it's a tie between Final Fantasy and Avatar as a number 1 set.
Both are very good.
For CDH standpoint, I would definitely give it to Avatar. Like the cards that we got in this set were way more impactful.
We got a lot of stuff. The more I think about it.
We got Badger Mole Cub, we got Redirect Lightning, Cabbage Merchant, Wa Shi Tong. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I mean, granted, the set is still relatively fresh, so
yeah, it is.
We could be overhyping things as well. Granted,
disagree.
So I don't not disagree. I think Badger Mole Cub, 100% a superstar.
It's staying. It's here to stay.
That card...
Get into, baby.
I think all the cards that we mentioned will stay. I just don't know if we're going to be overhyping them like we did for Vivi, like we did for Hashaton. Badger Mole, I think, deserves that status.
I think Wan Chitong does, too.
Do you?
Yeah, it's Archivist, too, that can be pitched to force. It's a beater. It's a blocker. Stays alive, the OBM. It's so good.
I'm
also a little biased.
Yeah, it goes in the bird.
It's a bird. It is a bird. It has foxes on the bird. Like, come on, dude. That's just me. But no, it's a house. I've seen it. I actually won a game with it today because it was in my hand and I did everything. And the only outlet was just I cast a Wan Shi Tong where I'd go ahead and draw my deck. And that's what I needed. That's what I needed in that moment. And that's what it did.
As I said, I think all those cards are super impactful. Avatar is gonna be the most impactful set of the year for CDH.
Yeah, I agree more with that the more I think about it.
And additionally, so I wouldn't say there was a whole lot of commanders from this set. Although we did see Toph the First Metal Bender. It started showing up in the channel. I don't know when this comes out, but there'll be at least a few videos on the channel about that.
It's probably the best Naya deck right now.
Probably.
At least the most consistent.
I think being able to have just so many different combo cards really helps it out.
It doesn't play a lot of dead cards. It's nice.
It definitely does not. And even cards like we were seeing Terra Symbiosis and be like, that card is actually good.
Yeah, it's like, why is it drawing cards? This is amazing.
So
drawing 2 in a non-blue deck.
I know. Those were the days. But I think Toph, I know you were a little bit interested in what was it, Aang at the Crossroads?
Yes, Aang at the Crossroads or Bant Aang is something I picked up. Food chain deck, very similar to Gyruda. It's really cool, but at the end of the day, like it's a deck stuffed with like 20-something clones, so that's just like 20 cards that maybe suck. And it feels really weird when you play at a table with a Tali, and now you don't know if you're gonna give them the win or if they're gonna give you the win.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really fun. I wanted a food chain deck. It's kind of cool that I got to do that. Just multiple times over, you play a roaming throne-esque like double trigger effect, and you can win the game by just putting a commander on the stack.
That sounds good. Definitely Avatar number one. I'll say it. Number one for this year, Avatar set.
Yeah, and a lot of fun cards for casual too. Like there's, I don't know, it was really impactful. People love Avatar.
But I think that'll be it then. I guess you were saying that you actually just came from another tournament. Why don't you give a little recap on that? How'd you do today? Any cool matchups? Any cool commanders?
Yeah, so I played in a 1K today. It was actually a little more than 1K because we ended up with 40 people as opposed to like the expected 32. I played Derevi. My game 1, I had lost to Thrash Tevish in seat 1. I was in seat 2. Seat 3 was Gitrog, and seat 4 was Kinnan. The Gitrog played a turn 1 Vexing Bauble, and the Kinnan got shut out. And Thrash Tevish just won the game because unfortunately Bant is not interactive, or at least mine isn't. But I mean, most Bant decks play a lot less instants than you'd expect out of a 3-color pile. It's
a very creature heavy deck.
Yeah, they are. Game 2, Game 2 I won. That was a 3-person pod, unfortunately. With a Gwenum in seat 1, me in seat 2, and Kefka in seat 3. Gwenum tried going for a turn 2 Gwenum off the LED, and then it got dazed by the Kefka. And I looked at the Gaia's Cradle and the Chromatic Orrery in my hand and said, "Yep, you got it." That's what happened. I Chromatic Orrery'd and had a clone. We did it.
Sounds good.
Game 3, absolutely obliterated by a Dog Thras. It was just like value town upon value town upon value town. His only threat at the table was Rog Thras. I was in seat 4. I'm doing nothing, and the person in seat 1 was Illumra.
Gotcha.
Illumra also just had the mold of 4 and didn't get very far. Game 4 in Swiss, I pulled a win. I was in seat 3. I mulled down the 5. I was playing against Bumbleflower. Mrs. Bumbleflower.
Really?
Yes, I was. It was really interesting. And then the other, it was Bumbleflower, it was TNT, it was me, and then Malcolm Vile, so Grixis Pirates. And me and Grixis Pirates looking at each other after we mulled the 5, like, looking at 2 Mystic Remoras, each from Bumbleflower and TNT, like, we ain't feeding that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not happening. I had to feed it once because I had a Sisay in my hand and a Soul Ring. Risk it for the biscuit, see what happens. And I played a Sisay on turn 3 after I did find a colored source, and no one got rid of it. I was like, all right, I find my cradle.
Sounds pretty good.
And then in the top 16 game I played, so when I played against one of the player I was talking about earlier, and the local who plays Esper, he's notorious for playing Esper. Today he was playing Y'shtola, and he just dropped a bunch of rocks turn 1, and then turn 2 played a Rugged Smothering. Our game became a game of attrition where Y'shtola in seat 1, me in seat 2, Arkham in seat 3, and Cedh in seat 4. And there was just no way for me to claw out of a game where there was a Rugged Smothering in play, a Rhystic Study, a Fish, a Cursed Totem, a Grafdigger's Cage.
He says stax isn't good.
Yeah, that's the one time stax actually just pulled it out. Cedh couldn't get there. Their stuff got Amphibian Downpoured as well. It was brutal, and I just had to sit there and watch it and take it. But I had a good time.
That's
as much
good.
as I hate Esper, I did have a good time, and Omar's a nice guy.
Well, that's probably the recap for the year. For the future, for 2026, anything that you're hoping for?
God, I'm so excited for Lorwyn. I'm sure everyone is. Lorwyn looks like an amazing, comeback to Magic. We're seeing a lot of really cool cards get spoiled. I'm interested to see where they go with the unbannings. I know that's also happening the same week as Lorwyn release.
Have they actually said they are unbanning?
Sorry, let me rephrase. When they announce an update to the Commander format with their check-in in January, I would like to see unbannings for sure. There's a lot of specific things I want to see in the future of Commander, but I just don't know if we're ready for it yet. It's probably a lot to do all at once.
In terms of me, I'm, as I stated, or as you probably heard, I like going to events. So I'm excited for MTG Vegas. I'm going to hope to do MTG Amsterdam and MTG Georgia. So
nice.
That's what I'm hoping for the upcoming year.
I want to travel more. I'm going to see if I can break out, get out of just this region, maybe move to see some things closer into like the Midwest. I know the other really big Derevi players, they're all closer to the Midwest. I would love to maybe go ahead and do a meetup with all of them. We can all get our stuff signed by each other, have our little bird brain session.
And one of the other things I'm excited for, in January, there's going to be the Quantum Grind Tour that's going to start up. They're relatively new in the CDH space. They're trying to be another tour organizer. Sam that's running it is a professional poker player.
Oh.
And his whole goal is trying to, for one, increase the prize support and just try and treat and grow the community. He's hopefully going to be running a free CDH event down in Florida mid-January. So I'm excited to try that one out.
That sounds like a good time. I might have to go.
But thank you all for watching. Hopefully this will be out before the New Year's. I have no idea. Thank you so much for Sly Fox for coming out.
Hey.
It was great getting to chat, and maybe we'll make this more of a reoccurring thing.
I would love to be on again. I love talking about the game. I'll talk for hours and hours.
Oh, definitely. We'll see if we can make this more than a once per year podcast.
Yeah. Maybe like every couple months.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to do the honors, or?
I think I'll let you take over. Go right ahead.
Well, I guess we're just dead on board.